You live. Part 3, Chapter 1. Narrator. Raskolnikov got up and sat down on the sofa. He waved his hand weakly to Razumihin to stop the stream of warm, messy, comforting words he was saying to his mother and sister. He took both of their hands and for a minute or two looked from one to other without speaking. His mother was frightened by his look. It showed a deeply painful feeling, and at the same time, something stubborn, almost crazy. Pulcheria Alexandrovna began to cry. Alotia Ramona was pale. Her hand shook in her brother's. Raskolnikov, in a broken voice, pointing to Razumhin, and says, "Go home with him. Goodbye until tomorrow. Tomorrow, everything. Is it long since you arrived?" "No, Pulcheria. This evening, Rodia. The train was terribly late. But, Rodia, nothing could make me leave you now. I will spend the night here, near you." Raskolnikov, with an angry movement. "Don't torture me!" Razumhin shouted. "I will stay with him. I won't leave him for a second. Forget all my visitors. Let them be as angry as they want. My uncle is leading the party there." Now Pulcheria, squeezing Razumin's hands again. "How? How can I thank you?" Raskolnikov interrupted angrily. "I can't have it. I can have it. Don't upset me. Enough. Go away. I can't take it." Dunya. "Come, Mama. Come out of the room at least for a minute. We are upsetting him, that is clear." Pulcheria. "Can't I look at him after 3 years?" Weeping. Raskolnikov stopping them again. "Stay. You keep stopping me, and my thoughts Get mixed up. Have you seen Luzhin?" Pulcheria. "No, Rodia. But he already knows we are here. We heard. Rodia, that Pyotr Petrovich was so kind as to visit you today." Raskolnikov. "Yes, he was so kind. Dunya, I promised Luzhin I would throw him downstairs and told him to go to hell." Pulcheria, in fear, stopping to look at Dunya. "Rodia, what are you saying? Surely you don't mean to tell us." Narrator says Adotia Romanovna was looking closely at her brother, waiting for what could come next. But both of them had heard of the fight for Nastasia, as far as she had been able to understand and tell it, and they were in painful confusion and worry. Raskolnikov, continuing with an effort, says, "Yuria, I don't want that marriage. So, at the first chance tomorrow, you must refuse Luzin, so that we may never hear his name again." Pulcheria, crying out, "Good heavens!" Dunia, starting fiercely but stopping herself, then speaking gently. "Brother, think what you are saying. You are not fit to talk now. Perhaps you are tired." Raskolnikov, "You think I'm crazy?" "No, you are marrying Luzin for my sake. But I won't accept the sacrifice, and so write a letter before tomorrow to refuse him. Let me read it in the morning, and that will be the end of it." Dunia, feeling insulted and crying out, "That I can do. What right have you?" Pulcheria. "Dunia, you are not hot-headed. Too, be quiet. Tomorrow, don't you see, better come away." 20 seconds wait. Resume him crying out drunkenly. "He's talking wild. Or how would he dare? Tomorrow all this nonsense will be over. Today he suddenly did drive him away. That was true, and Luzhin got angry too. He made speeches here, wanted to show off his learning, and he went out feeling small. Pulcheria. Then it's true? Dunia with pity. Goodbye until tomorrow, brother. Let's go. Mother, goodbye, Rhodia. Raskolnikov making a last effort. Do you hear, sister? I'm not crazy. This marriage is a shameful thing. Let me act like a bad man. But you must not. One is enough. And though I'm a bad man, I wouldn't own such a sister. It's me or lose him. Go now. Razumihin roaring. But you are out of your mind. Out of your mind, Balay. Narrator. Raskolnikov did not and perhaps could not answer. He lay down on the sofa and turned out to the wall, completely worn out. Avdotia Ramonovna looked with interest at Razumihin. Her black eyes flashed. Razumihin actually jumped at her look. Pulcheria stood completely crushed. Pulcheria whispering in despair to Razumihin. Nothing would make me go. I'll stay somewhere here. Take Dunia home. Razumihin whispering back, losing patience. You'll ruin everything. Come out onto the stairs. Anyway, it's just so a light. I promise you. Counting in a half whisper on the stairs. Continuing in a half whisper on the stairs. That he was almost beating the doctor and me this afternoon. Do you understand? The doctor himself. Even he gave up and left him. So as not to make him mad. I stayed downwards to watch, but he dressed at once and slipped away. And he will slip away again if you make him mad at this time of night, and will do himself some harm. Pulcheria, what are you saying? Resuming, and Avdotia can possibly be left on those rooms without you. Just think, where are you staying? That bad man, Pyro Petrovich, couldn't find you better rooms, but you know I have had a little to drink, and that's what makes me swear. Don't mind it. Pulcheria. But I'll go to the landlady here. I'll beg her to find some corner for Dunia and me for the night. I can't leave him like that. I cannot. Okay, this talk took place on the landing just outside the landlady's door. Mr. lighted them from a step below. Razumihin was wildly excited. Half an hour earlier, while he was bringing Raskolnikov home, he had indeed talked too freely, but he knew it himself, and his head was clear despite the huge amount he had drunk. Now he was in a state close to pure joy, and all that he had drunk seemed to rush to his head with double strength. He stood with the two ladies, holding both by their hands, arguing with them and giving them reasons with surprising clearness. At almost every word he spoke, probably to make his point stronger, he squeezed their hand painfully like a tool. He stared at Avdotia Ramonovna without any manners at all. They sometimes pulled their hands out of his huge bony paws, but instead of noticing, he drew them even closer to him. If they had told him to jump head first from the stairs, he would have done it without a thought of to serve them. Though Pulcheria felt the young man was really too strange and pinched her hand too much in her worry over her rodeo, she saw his presence as a gift from God and did not want to notice his odd ways. But though Avdotia shared her worry and was not a fearful person, she could not see the burning light in his eyes without surprise and almost fear. It was all only the total trust caused by Nastasia's story of her brother's strange friend that stopped her from trying to run away from him and making her mother do the same. She realized, too, that running away was perhaps impossible now. 10 minutes later, however, she was much more relaxed. It was typical of Razumihin that he showed his true self at once, no matter his mood, so people quickly saw the kind of man they were dealing with. Razumihin shouted, "You can go to the lady, that's total nonsense. If you stay, even though you are his mother, you will drive him into a wild rage, and then goodness knows what will happen. Listen, I tell you what I'll do. I tell you what I'll do. Necessa will stay with him now, and I'll take you both home. You can't be in the streets alone. Petersburg is a terrible place that way, but no matter, then I'll run straight back here. And 15 minutes later, on my word of honor, I'll bring you news of how he is, whether he is asleep, and all that. Then, listen, then I will run home in a flash. I have a lot of friends there, all drunk. I'll fetch Zosimo. That's the doctor looking after him. He is there too. But he is not drunk. He is never drunk. I'll drag him to Rhodia and then to you. So you'll get two reports in the hour. From the doctor, you understand? From the doctor himself, which is a very different thing from my story. If there's anything wrong, I swear, I'll bring you here myself. But if it's all right, you go to bed, and I'll spend the night here in the hallway. He won't hear me, and I'll tell Zosimo to sleep at the landlady's to be near, which is better for him, you or the doctor. So come home then. But the landlady is out of the question. It's all right for me, but it's out of the question for you. She will take you because she's a fool. She would be jealous of Avdotia because of me and of you too. If you want to know of Avdotia, Ramanona certainly, she has a sorry, she has a completely crazy character. But I'm a fool too. No matter, come along. Do you trust me? Come. Do you trust me or not? Dunya, let us go, mother. He will certainly do what he has promised. He has saved Roria already, and if the doctor really will agree to spend the night here, what could be better? Razumin crying out with joy. You see, you understand me? Because you are an angel. Let us go. Instead of fly upstairs and sit with him with a light. I will come in 15 minutes. The narrator says, though Pulcheria was not fully convinced, she stopped fighting it. Razumin gave an arm to each and drew them down the stairs. He still made her worried. Though he was useful and good natured, was he able to keep his promise? He seemed in such a state, Razumin, guessing her thoughts as he walked with huge steps. Ah, I see you think I'm in such a state. Nonsense, that is, I'm drunk like a fool. But that's not it. I am drunk. I'm not drunk from wine. Seeing you has turned my head. But don't mind me. Don't take any notice. I'm talking nonsense. I'm not good enough for you. I'm totally unworthy of you. The minute I've taken you home, I'll pour a couple of buckets of water over my head in the street ditch here. In the street ditch here. And then I shall be all right. If only you knew how I love you both. Don't laugh. And don't be angry. You may be angry with anyone, but not with me. I'm his friend, and therefore I'm your friend too. I want to be. I had a feeling. Last year there was a moment, though it wasn't really a feeling, but feeling for you seemed to have fallen from heaven. And I expect I shan't sleep all night. Zosimo was afraid a little while ago that he would go mad. That's why he must not be made angry. Pulcheria, crying out, what do you say? Dunia, alarmed. Did the doctor really say that? Resuming, yes, but it's not true. Not a bit of it. He gave him some medicine, a powder, I saw it. And then you coming here, would have been better if you had come tomorrow. It's a good thing. We went away. And in an hour, Zosimo himself would report to you about everything. He's not drunk, and I shan't be drunk. And what made me get so loaded? Because they got me into an argument. Damn them. I've sworn never to argue. They talk such trash. I almost started a fight. I left my uncle to lead them. Would you believe they demand that people completely stop being individuals? And that's just what they like. Not to be themselves, but not to be themselves, to be as alike as themselves as they can. To be as alike themselves as they can. That's what they see as the highest point of progress. If only their nonsense were their own, as it is. Pulcheria. Listen, resuming, shouting louder than ever. What do you think? You think I'm attacking them for talking nonsense? You think I'm attacking them for talking nonsense? Not a bit. I like them to talk nonsense. That's man's one advantage over all other animals. Through mistakes, you come to the truth. I'm a man because I make mistakes. You never reach any truth without making 40 mistakes and very likely 140. And that's a fine thing too, in its way. But we can't even make mistakes on our own. Talk nonsense, but talk your own nonsense, and I'll kiss you for it. To go wrong in one's own way is better than to go right in someone else. In the first case, you are a man. In the second, you are no better than a bird. Truth won't run away from you, but life can be squeezed. There have been examples. And what are we doing now? In science, growth, thought, invention, plans, aims, freedom, judgment, experience, and everything. Everything. I think we are still in first grade at school. We prefer to live on other people's ideas. It's what we are used to. Am I right? Pressing and shaking their hands. Pulcheria, crying out. Oh, mercy, I don't know. Dunia, speaking seriously, then crying out as if he squeezed her hand. Yes, yes, though I don't agree with you in everything. Resuming, shouting with joy. Yes, you say yes? Well, after that, you are a well of goodness, purity, sense, and perfection. Give me your hand. You give me yours too. Too. I want to kiss your hands here at once, on my knees. And he fell on his knees on the pavement, which was luckily empty at the time. Pulcheria, stop, I beg you. What are you doing? Greatly distressed. Dunia, laughing, though she too was upset. Get up! Get up. Resuming, getting up. Not for anything until you let me kiss your hands. That's it, enough. I get up and we'll go on. I'm a luckless fool. I'm not good enough for you and drunk. And I am ashamed. I'm not worthy to love you. But to respect you is the duty of every man who is not a total beast. And I've shown my respect. Here are your rooms. And for that alone, Roria was right in driving your Pyro Petrovich away. How dare he? How dare he put you in such rooms? It's a shame. Do you know the sort of people they take in here? And you, his promised wife? You are his promised wife, yes? Well, then I tell you, your man is a rascal. Pulcheria, excuse me, Mr. Azumihin, you're forgetting. Azumin hurrying to apologize. Yes, yes, you're right. I forgot myself. I'm ashamed of it. But you can be angry with me for speaking so. For I speak honestly, and not because that would be a shameful. That would be shameful. In fact, not because I'm in him. I mean, well, anyway, I won't say why. I dare not. But we also today, when he came in, that man, that man is not our kind. Not because he had his hair curled at the barbers, not because he was in such a hurry to show his weight, but because he is a spy, a gambler. Because he's a cheapskate and a clown, that's clear. Do you think him smart? No, he's a fool. A fool. And is he a match for you? Good heavens. You see, ladies, stopping suddenly on the stairs, though all my friends there are drunk, yet they're all honest. Though we do talk a lot of trash, and I do too, yet we shall talk our way to the truth at last. For we are on the right path, while Pyra Petrovich is not on the right path. Though I've been calling them all sorts of names just now. I do respect them all, though I don't respect Samuel. I like him because he's a young pup, and that big ox Zosimo because he's an honest man and knows his work. But enough, it's all said and forgiven. Is it forgiven? Well, then let's go on. I know this hallway, I've been here. There was trouble here at number three. Where are you here? Which number? Eight? Well, lock yourself in for the night. Then lock yourself in for the night then. Don't let anybody in. In 15 minutes, I'll come back with news. And half an hour later, I'll bring those news, see? Goodbye, I'll run. Pulcheria, with anxiety and fear. Good heavens, Dunia, what is going to happen? Dunia, don't worry yourself, mother. God has sent this gentleman to help us. Though he has come from a drinking party, we can depend on him, I promise you. And all that he has done for Rhodia, Pulcheria, tears coming into her eyes. Ah, Dunia, goodness knows whether he will come. How could I bring myself to leave Rhodia? And how different I had imagined or made it. How cold he was, as though not pleased to see us. Dunia, no, it's not that. Mother, you didn't say you were crying all the time. He's quite shaken by serious illness. That's the reason. Pulcheria, looking timidly at her daughter. Ah, that's illness. What will happen? What will happen? And how he talked to you, Dunia. I'm sure he will think better of it tomorrow, trying to test her further. Dunia, and I'm sure that he will say the same tomorrow, but tomorrow about that, the narrator. And of course, there was no going past that, for this was a point which Pulcheria was afraid to talk about. Junia went up and kissed her mother. The mother warmly held her without speaking. Then she sat down to wait anxiously for resuming his return, timidly watching her daughter who walked up and down, walked up and down the room with her arms crossed. Deep in thought, this walking up and down when she was thinking a habit of Avdotia Ramnona's, and the mother was always afraid to interrupt her daughter's mood at such moments. Razumin, of course, was silly and said in his sudden drunken love for Avdotia Ramnona. Yet, apart from his strange state, many people would have thought it fair if they had seen Avdotia Ramnona, especially at that moment when she was walking back and forth with crossed arms, thoughtful and sad. Avdotia was remarkably good looking. She was tall, beautifully shaped, strong, and confident. This last trait was clear in every moment, though it did not take away from the grace and softness of her actions. In face, she looked like her brother, but she could be called truly beautiful. Her hair was dark brown, a little lighter than her brother's. There was a proud light in her almost black eyes, and yet at times a look of extreme kindness. She was pale, but it was a healthy paleness. Her face was bright with freshness and strength. Her mouth was rather small. The full red lower lip stuck out a little, as did her chin. It was only uneven part of her beautiful face, but it gave it a special personal and almost proud look. Her face was always more serious and thoughtful than happy. But how well smiles, how well young, light-hearted, carefree laughter surely suited her face. It was natural enough that a warm, open, simple-hearted, honest giant like Razumihin, who had never seen anyone like her, and was not quite sober, should lose his head immediately. Besides, as luck would have it, he saw Dunya for the first time. Yeah, changed. He saw Dunia for the first time, changed by her love for her brother and her joy at meeting. Afterward, he saw her lower lip shake with anger at her brother's rude, cruel, and ungrateful words, and his fate was sealed. Wow, beautiful light. He had spoken the truth, moreover, when he let out in his drunken talk on the stairs that Praskovia Pavlovna Raskolnikov's strange landlady would be jealous of Pulcheria, as well as of Avdotya Romanovna on his account. Although Pulcheria was 43, her face still kept signs of her past beauty. She looked much younger than her age, which is almost always the case with women who keep peace of mind, tenderness, and pure, honest warmth of heart to old age. We may add that to keep all this is the only way to stay beautiful into old age. Her hair had begun to grow gray and thin. There had been long they had long been small wrinkles around her eyes. Her cheeks were thin from worry and grief, yet it was a handsome face. She was Dunia over again, 20 years older, but without this sticking out lower lip. Pulcheria was emotional but not silly, shy and giving in, but only to a certain point. She could give away and accept a great deal, even of what was against her beliefs. But there was a certain wall fixed by honesty, rules, and the deepest beliefs which nothing would make her cross. Narrator says, exactly 20 minutes after Razumi's departure, there came two quiet but hurried knocks at the door. He had come back. Razumin, speaking quickly as the door opened. I won't come in, I haven't time. He sleeps like a log deeply, quietly, and God grant he may sleep 10 hours. Nastasia is with him. I told her not to leave until I came. Now I am fetching Zosimo. He will report to you. Then you'd better go to bed. I can see you are too tired to do anything. Narrator, and he ran off down the hallway. Pulcheria, extremely delighted. What a very useful and devoted young man. Dunia, with some warmth, starting to walk again. He seems a wonderful person. The narrator says, it was nearly an hour later when they heard steps in the hallway and another knock at the door. Both women waited this time, completely trusting Razumin's promise. He actually had managed to bring Zosimo. Zosimo had agreed at once to leave the drinking party to go to Raskolnikov's, but he came unwillingly, with great doubt to see the ladies, not trusting Razumin in his excited state. But his pride was at once satisfied. He saw they were really waiting for him. They were really waiting for him like a wise expert. He stayed just 10 minutes and managed to completely convince and comfort Pulcheria. He spoke with clear kindness, but with the quiet and extreme seriousness of a young doctor at an important meeting. He did not say a word on any other subject and did not show the slightest wish to get closer to the ladies. Noticing at his first entrance the stunning beauty of Avdotia, he tried not to notice her at all during his visit and spoke only to Pulcheria. All this gave him great inner pleasure. He stated that he thought the sick man at this moment was doing very well. According to his views, the patient's illness was due partly to his poor living conditions during the last few months, but he had partly also a mental cause, was, so to speak, the result of several physical and mental pressures, worries, fears, troubles, and ideas, and so on. Noticing secretly that Adotia Ramona was following his words with close intention, Zosimo allowed himself to speak longer on this topic. On Pulcheria's anxious and timid question about some fear of madness, he replied with a calm and open smile that his words had been made to sound worse than they were. That certainly the patient had some struck idea, something like a single focus of craziness. He, Zosimo, was now particularly studying this interesting branch of medicine. But that is must be remembered that until today the patient had been talking well, and that no doubt the presence of his family would have a good effect on his healing and distract his mind. If only all new shocks can be avoided, he added meaningly. Then he got up, took his leave with a grand and polite bow, while blessings, warm thanks, and prayers were poured upon him, and Avdotya openly offered her hand to him. He went out extremely pleased with his visit, and even more so with himself. Resuming him, pulling Zosimo out, we'll talk tomorrow. Go to bed at once. I'll be with you tomorrow morning, as early as possible with my report. Zosimo almost licking his lips as they hit the street. That's a striking little girl, Avdotya, Ramanona, resuming, roaring, flying at Zosimo and grabbing his throat. Striking? You said striking? If you ever dare, do you understand? Do you understand? Shaking him by the collar against the wall. Do you hear? Zosimo struggling. Let me go, you drunken devil. Van let go, laughing aloud. Razumin stood facing him in dark and serious thought. Razumin, dark as a storm cloud. Of course, I'm a fool, but still, you're another. Zosimo, no, brother, not at all such another. I'm not dreaming of any silly things. Resuming him, breaking the silence. Near the house in great worry. Listen, you are a great guy, but among your other faults, you are loose. Then I know and a dirty one too. You're a weak, nervous wreck, a pile of fools. You're getting fat and lazy, and can't say no to yourself. And I call it dirty because it leads straight into the mud. You let yourself get so loose that I don't know how you're still a good, even a devoted doctor. You, a doctor, sleep on a soft bed and get up at night for your patients. In another 3 or 4 days, you won't get up for your patients. You won't get up for your patients. But hang it all, that's not the point. You're going to spend tonight in the landlady's rooms here. Hard work, I have to talk her into it. And I'll be in the kitchen. So here's a chance for you to get to know her better. It's not as you think. There's not a trace of anything of the sort, brother. Just you know. But I don't think, presuming. Here you have shyness, brother. Silence, modesty, a fierce goodness. And yet she's sighing and melting like wax. Simply melting. Save me from her. Why, all that's bad. She's very attractive. I'll pay you back. I'll do anything. Zosimo. Well, you're hooked. What am I to do with her? Azumi. It won't be much trouble, I promise you. Talk any trash you like to her. As long as you sit by her and talk to the doctor, too. Try curing her of something. I swear you won't regret it. She has a piano. And you know, I play little. I have a song there, a real Russian one. I shed hot tears. She likes the real thing, and well, it all began with the song. Now you're a professional player, a master, a star. I promise you, you won't regret it. Zosimo, but have you made her some promise, something signed, a promise to marry, perhaps? Nothing, absolutely nothing of the kind. Besides, she's not a type at all. Skibro tried that. Zosimo, well then, leave her. Zosimo, but I can leave you like that. Zosimo, why can't you? Well, I can. That's all about it. There's a pull here, brother. Then why have you won her over? I haven't won her over. Perhaps I was won over myself in my foolishness, but she won't care a bit whether it's you or I, so long as somebody sits beside her, sighing. I can't explain this yet, brother. Look here. You are good at math and working at it now. Begin teaching her math. Honestly, I'm not joking. I'm serious. It will be just the same to her. She will stare at you and sigh for a whole year straight. I talked to her once for 2 days at a time about politics. For one must talk of something, she just sighed and sweated. You must not talk of love. She is shy to the point of fits. But just let her see you can pull yourself away. That's enough. It's terribly comfortable. You're quieted. You can read, sit, lie around, write. You may even try for a kiss if you're careful. So small. But what do I want with her? Ah, I can make you understand. You see, you are made for each other. I have often been reminded of you. You'll come to it in the end. So, does it matter whether it's sooner or later? There's a soft bed factor here. Brother, oh, and not only that, there's a pull here. Here you have the end of the world, a safe place, a quiet park, the center of the earth, the base of the world, the spirit of pancakes, of tasty fish pies, of the evening tea, of soft sighs and warm blankets, hot stoves to sleep on, as cozy as though you were dead and yet you're alive. The gains of both at once. Well, hang it, brother. What stuff I'm talking about? It's bedtime. Listen, I sometimes wake up at night, so I'll go in and look at him. But there's no need. It's all right. Don't you worry yourself. Yet, if you like, you might just look in once too. But if you notice anything while talking or fever, wake me at once. There can be. Okay, it ended. And straight.